Hello guys, I'm MirrowFox from US. I'm an Ahri main for almost 6 years now, and right now I'm hovering for around Diamond 2 and 1. My peak was last season where I got to Grandmaster with playing mostly Ahri. When I started to play Ahri, I found her pretty fun, and that's why I started to main her. And also I just got results from the first time I played her. So yeah, even though she's an easy champ to pick up, she has some mechanics and tricks that differentiate good Ahris from bad ones, like stopping dashes with your charm. And also one of the things that I like a lot from Ahri is how you can always outplay enemy thanks to your mobility. You can just dodge skill shots from the enemy with your ultimate and outplay them back. A thing that not many people know is that Ahri's ultimate has a 10 cast window, where after you cast the first ult, you can cast it freely another time. So that means that enemy might know that you use ult and try to kill you, but you still have ultimate, so you can just outplay them. Once you have ultimate, you become a very mobile champ, so I've used that to move around the map and get free kills. No matter the lane, top or bot, is used okay. For your first item, you can actually get Doran's Ring or Corruption Potion. It comes to personal preference. I, for example, prefer Doran's Ring, so you can actually start solving the wave with 2 Qs at level 3. While Ahri's damage is lower than most of the other mid lane champs, she can win them at short rates. What I mean with that is use the classic auto WQ and use the move speed to run away so they can hit you back. Another thing that you should take into account is that Ahri's Q passive, which is sustain, is insane. Like as you are going to see at this clip, I just get 2 passive proc healing thanks to the ultimate that fires free fox similar to W, and I just get a second Q passive healing and use hard win on Zed thanks to it. You can also take not only ignite but cleanse, as you are going to see at this clip, where I use insta cleanse Vegas E and kill him afterwards. You can also do it against champs like Lissandra, which is insane. Your basic combo in laning phase will consist on auto WQ that can actually do so much damage, as you can see in this clip, and just wait for the next time you have electrocute to keep using it, otherwise you might get outraged. Like your W has low range, so if you actually go at auto attack range, you might get outraged by other champs. Ahri laning phase is actually not that bad, as she's used as safe champ and you can actually play around early meta junglers like Lee Sin or Jarvan, where you can stop their engage with your charm. One of the first power spike on Ahri is once she gets level 6, that she has access to her ulti. Take that in mind to kill the enemy once you get level 6 and start snowballing from there. Here, just with a hostage revolver, I just can solo kill him pretty hard, so take that in mind. Your main damage tool on your kit is your Q return, which deals true damage on its way back. So take that in mind to use your ultimate or even your flash to reposition yourself to hit that part. Even though your Q doesn't give you vision, you can still know if there's an enemy on a boost thanks to it. Just take a look at your Q passive, and if you get move speed or Q passive healing procs, there's an enemy there. Ahri has two playstyles that just play different. The first one is the most common one with Electrocute, and you will play as a Burst Mage or King of Assassin hybrid. For your main rune you can actually go for Electrocute. It's the best rune for Ahri for this playstyle. For your second rune you can take whatever you need. Taste of Blood is insanely good against champs like Syndra, for example, that had a lot of poke. And then we have Gypsot, which is kinda good at some matchups like Talon, where you can easily stop his dash with your charm, so that's extra damage that you have. Sun Impact is the most weak, I guess, for Ahri, as she can just proc it with ultimate, and early on it has a high cooldown, so it's not that worth. At this we can take whatever you want, to be honest. Eyeball Collection is the one that I ram the most, but Cosper is actually pretty good too for extra vision, so this is a matter of preference, to be honest. Here you can take also, well, I guess that Ingenious Hunter is the weakest of all of them on Ahri. The most common for me, I guess, that Ravenous Hunter, as it gives a lot of sustain for Ahri, or Ultimate Hunter, so you can have your ultimate on a lower cooldown, but I guess that is not that worth, to be honest, as once you get some CDR it's actually low cooldown, so it's better to get some extra sustain from this. At your second tree you can go for whatever you want. For example, against Syndra or teams that have a lot of CC, I actually run Tenacity and Triumph, for example, or you can also take Presence of Mind. Even Last Stand is good, as Last Stand is good versus Syndra too, as it gives extra damage when you are low HP, and as she have a lot of damage, it's actually pretty good against her. Or the most common one, Coup de Grace, that just deals more damage if the enemy is low. Then we have Inspiration, where you can get whatever you want. Boots are pretty good. Perfect Timing for free stopwatch against Zed or assassins in general. Minion the Materializer is pretty good too, as it gives Wave Glare to Ahri from level 7 instead of 9. And then you can get, I run the most this one at this tree, and then you can get CDR or boots, whatever you want. My most used tree is Sorcery second, and here you can take whatever you want to. This is kinda good against champs that have a lot of bursts like Veigar or Syndra and can save you sometimes. My most used is Transcendence, honestly, as it just gives the 10 extra CDR that you lack on your build, as you usually go for Ludens or GLP, and after that Sonia, and that use 30% of CDR instead of the 40, so it's kinda nice. My most used is Transcendent plus Gathering Storm or Mana Flow, as this way you can have some extra mana pool and spam more, and that means more sustain in the laning phase, so it's pretty good too. Then we have Glacial Launchman. This will change your playstyle a bit, as you have to actually play as a control mage like Veigar, for example, and you have way better peak potential even at higher reloads, as the slow is enough for hitting a charm. So you get Glacial Launchman. Here you can take boots or Perfect Timing. Here you always take the Materializer, so you get earlier Wave Clear, which is insane for Ahri. And here you can take whatever you want. I guess the CDR is pretty nice, as you can cast 2 Ws, as with 45% of CDR it goes to 2 seconds, I guess, 2.5, so it's pretty insane. And the best second trip at this build is chip shot, as impaired movement makes you deal more damage, and it's actually true damage, so it's insane. And your auto attacks is slow with this, so you can actually proc very reliable poke. It's insane against melees like Zed, Talon, Qiyana, etc. And then you can get what you want. I actually run Able collection, so I can still one shot even with this build. But the most common is actually Ultimate Hunter to make your ultimate go on lower CD, but as I said, that is not that worth, as with 45% of win rate your ultimate is already on a low cooldown. So whatever you want, you can go with chip shot and Ultimate Hunter, or even Ingenious Hunter, so you have Sonya, GLP and Twin Shadows on a lower cooldown, or even Relentless Hunter to get extra move speed, which is insane. And at this build you actually run some move speed with Twin Shadows, so it's pretty good too. But I guess that this is the core on this build, as it makes you deal a lot of reliable damage, which is insane. One of the things that I loved from Ahri the most is how versatile her kit is, and that makes her build so versatile too. At the start you want to go Torrents, or you can get Corruption Potion too, as it's pretty good, so whatever you want. At first back you actually want Lost Chapter or Busting Wound, which is pretty good to be honest. So this is a matter of preference. You go for this when you are against Zed or something like that, and if you see that that's enough, you can just go for GLP or Ludens. Even though you play with Electrocute, you can actually take GLP anyway, as it's way cheaper than Ludens. As you can see, 400 of gold cheaper for use a 10 AP loss, which is not that a big deal. Like Ahri AP ratios are so low, so it's not that bad anyway. Also the item just deals more damage, as you can see. It's almost double damage of Ludens. It scales actually, and not as Ludens. It scales also higher with AP, and in most situations it's actually double damage. For your boots, you can actually take any of these. Sorcerer are the best in my opinion, as magic penetration is so strong on Ahri, as her AP ratios are low. I don't play as much these boots actually, but I used to run them a lot. I guess that Sorcerer are just so strong. You can actually take mercs and champs like Syndra for example, or Annie, or even Lux, who can use stun you and one shot you, so the extra MR is actually pretty good. And Tabi is only in case you are versus for example 3 AD carries or something like that, but as I said, sorcerer boots are just the best. Your next item after Ludens or GLP will be Death Cap in most situations, if you want to do damage, or whatever you want to be honest. As I said, Ahri just can build anything that builds AP or CDR. The best, well, before Death Cap you actually want to go Oblivion Orb and just stay it like that, and don't upgrade it to for Morello unless you need the passive to stop healings from champs like Blood, Soraka or something like that, as Death Cap is used better. You can actually go for Liandry's as Ahri, but it's not as good. It's pretty good though at Glacial Lodgement build, as you have in builds slows now, but it's actually not that bad on Electrocute Ahri if you are versus champs that stack a lot of HP like Gasoline, Rice, Cassiopeia, etc. But they're just better items. After taking Oblivion Orb, you actually go for Death Cap or Sonia if you need the passive. And if you see that they are already sticking some MR, just take Voice Staff instead of Death Cap. Take it first and then take Death Cap. Realize use is not that good on Ahri anymore, but you can actually take it. There use items like Sin that can be pretty good too. And if it fits your playstyle, you can actually go for it. There's also Proto Belt, which can be built as first item, and it's really good, to be honest. It scales a lot with AP, so taking after that Death Cap, you deal actually insane of damage. You can actually take two, as I said, Sin. There's not much. As I said, you need a lot of CDR, so that's what you want to prioritize. Mejais is also pretty good if you take an early dark seal, so you can improve it to a Mejais or not. Spellbinder is actually pretty good as it gives a lot of AP and it's pretty cheap. If you don't need, and it scales insanely well with paired with Death Cap, so the build will be for Ludens, Spellbinder and Death Cap, and with that build you actually do a lot of damage. Roa is not that good as it doesn't give CDR, and as you see, you can actually build anything that have AP. Mansis is good if they have 2 APs too, and get it instead of Sonia. And that's all for the items.